Bless you. We are concluding the matter on not failing in your faith. Peter was a typical example. And some of these lapses are not just about a rejection of doctrine, they are inherent. It's our nature. The church is suffering what we call credibility crisis, identity crisis. There's a mixture. What we call the Samaritan. The Samaritan is a picture of somebody who is half Jew and half Gentile. So you can choose to behave very well as a Christian in church, and you can behave powerfully like a believer outside the church. That's what is happening. So you don't really have a unique one way definition of who you are. So you think you can act anyhow. This is what is happening to us. That's what causes us to fall. So let's look at some examples of people who failed. Now, Solomon had in First Kings chapter 11, 700 women. Why? 1,300 plus 1,000. He makes it. He started well, but did he come back? If you check Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13, it will give you a clue that the end of the matter is different. It's when you come back. Now, I want you to look at some examples like Jacob. Jacob in Genesis chapter 31, Genesis 31, verse 3, verse 17, 18. Now, the Lord instructed Jacob to go back to his father's house. Jacob himself had promised God that he would make sacrifices at Bethel. When he received the instruction, out of fear, he took a detour and went the opposite direction to Shechem. That's an act of faithlessness. He was scared because of the crime he had committed against Esau. And when he got there to Shechem, what happened? Dinah, his daughter, was raped. There are consequences. Consequences. Genesis chapter 12, verse 10. Genesis 12, verse 10. When you look at Genesis chapter 12, verse 10, you see another example of what we call the father of our faith. Jesus said, before Abraham, I was. So he cannot be the father of your faith. He cannot be your template. He is an example for you to follow. Jesus is the accurate template. Now, Genesis chapter, we're looking at 12, verse 10. Verse 12, verse 10, sorry. 12, 10. And there was a famine in the land, hunger. And Abraham went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. What is happening? He was told he was going to be given the promised land. He was going to be blessed, but do not go to Egypt. But because there was famine, hunger, the prices of food prices had escalated. He decided to take a journey into the world like people are doing now. He did that. He did that. He went back into Egypt. You may be going to places you are not supposed to go only because of crisis. Your faith is going there. You may go, but please come back. You must always come back. And people who don't come back will face the consequences. So there are lapses in our faith because we sow in the flesh. The flesh will always give us challenges. Let me give you the final scripture in Psalm 73, verse 2. We'll conclude the matter. Psalm 73, verse 2 is a beautiful piece of scripture. Psalm 73, verse the number 2. But As for me, my feet had almost stumbled. My step had nearly slipped. My feet. So people are at at that verge, that point, the almost point. My feet had almost stumbled. My step had nearly slipped. If you are there, please come back. If you want to go and sleep with that man because you are in crisis, please come back. Turn back from that entrance. The robbery, the stealing, what is going through your mind? Come back. Almost. My feet had almost stumbled. If you are at the point of almost, we are okay. But don't fall. Don't fall away. Don't go into a state of apostasy. You must stand. The standing is the key. The coming back is the key. And glory shall be given to God. Beloved, believers, it is going to happen. People are going to fall away completely, and people are going to experience some moment of weakness. Come back. Don't fall away completely. Join a good church. Don't cut yourself off the fellowship. Connect with the pastor, connect with the leadership, join the fellowship, and you'll be encouraged. God bless you.